Hey everybody, Don here again. Welcome back to the paint shop and my new channel, Ragged Edge Lure Works. So today I am painting up a couple more baits for my buddy John Ames. John asked me a few weeks back, he said, can you get any Shad Rap blanks, the Rapala Shad Rap? And I had not seen anything like that. So I said, no, I don't think so, but I think I have a couple of old ones in my tackle box that I could repaint. And so I went out there and I dug around, and sure enough, I had a Fire Tiger one. He explained the pattern he was looking for, and I painted it up. And you can see it's pearl white on the bottom. We've got some screen to make some scales. We've got, what is this, pearlized black on the top. I did a little gill work with some stencils, put some eyeballs on it, and he really liked it. So he sent me a big bomber, it's up here right now, and asked me if I could paint that to match that small Shad Rap. I said, absolutely. I like that pattern too. In the meantime, I found these. These are a Shad Rap knockoff. Actually, I like them a little bit better because they've got some detailed indentations for gills. They've got recessed eyeball slots where the Shad Raps are just painted on eyes. And so I'm going to paint a couple of these up as well. And they are going to find their way down to the trading post. So stick around. I'll show you what I'm going to do. All right, well, here's what we're doing. We've got them all primed in opaque white. This bomber is, like I said, it's got a lot of hook rash on it. Must have been flopping in the breeze, that's all I can say. Got a couple of big gouges on the back. I tried, smoothing it down, but it's just not getting it any further than that. We're going to cover them with pearl white, and then I'm going to wrap them in mesh, and then I'm going to cover them in pearlized silver. And then we'll pull the mesh off, and I'll do some work around the head and the back, and I'm going to use this vermilion red around the gills. I really like that color, so let's get to painting. All right, pearl white. I'm using a lot of this stuff. I really like it. Let's get underneath here. Let's start with this big boy. All right, so I cut out some little pieces of tape to kind of stencil off the gills. Now I'm going to try to get this at an angle. Should have cut that at a little more of an angle. All right, so I've cut this screen. Now I want these gills to be kind of diamond shape. I don't want them to be square. So I'm going to pull them tight right there and then clamp it onto that. And that looks pretty good on both sides. Yep. And I'm not going to worry about the top, because I really don't want scales up on the top. The scales are just going to be on the side. The top and the bottom are both going to be solid. So there you go. There's one. Let's see if we can do this big guy. Cut some of that off. The same on this one. I don't want scales up on the top and on the bottom, so I think as long as we get good and tight. Yep. All right. We're gonna get some of this pearlized silver shook up real good. Get that in the brush. All right. And we're gonna start off with this big bomber. All right, let's go. Kind of hard to see on that pearl white. But I think we got a pretty good coverage. Let's heat set that before we go any further. I don't want the paint in the brush for too long, so let's do these ones. All right, well, I'm gonna put some of this pearl black in the brush now, and we're just gonna go about maybe halfway down the body while the scales are still on, and then we'll cover the top just to highlight those scales a little bit, and then same on these ones. See what it looks like. That's not too bad. A little dark there, but that's not too bad. I'm going to darken up the back to cover up those scales, so that's all right. I like that. Not too shabby. Let's see how these little ones look. Yeah, same thing. They look good. We got a little fade on the bottom. We're going to fade that out on the top. We're going to do a little gill work. Yep, looks good. Now, well, we still just have black in here. Let me turn the pressure down a little bit. Just want to fade those scales a little bit. Yeah. That's not too bad. All right, let's do this one. Touch more paint. Well, as usual, I forgot to turn the camera on, but I did a little gill work here. Just something to break that up, um, and forgot to film it. So I'm going to take pearl white, and I'm going to just do the belly on these again. Maybe not. I don't know. Let's have a look. The scales go all the way to the bottom. No, you know what? I don't think it needs any white. I was thinking this one maybe. This one maybe needs a little white down here to break that up. So yeah, this one's going to get a little bit of white. The other two, I think they're fine the way they are. All right. All right, I only got one coat of epoxy on these things. Let's put my logo decal on them. I printed these out, 100 to a sheet, on water slide decal paper. I'm gonna trim this up, get rid of those sharp edges. Remember doing this when you were a kid on model airplanes or model race cars, whatever. Okay, so there's the Ragged Edge Lure Works decal. We'll put this in warm water for, I don't know, maybe 10 seconds or so. That ought to be enough, huh? Just dab off the water. And the decal slides right off. Now we'll rub out the excess. Got that located pretty much where I want it. Voila, we'll give that a second coat of epoxy, and the logo will be locked in for life. Well, here's the finished product. You have the little shad wrap that John asked me to paint up in that pattern. And then we have the big bomber that he asked me to match up to that. Down below, we have the two shad wrap knockoffs that once we get hooks on them, will find their way down to the tackle wall at the trading post. Thanks for coming along today, folks. Really appreciate it. If you're interested in any of these types of lures, give me a shout. We'll see you next time. Peace.